Your soulmate was on a dinner date last night, and shockingly, their date was my beloved child. Last night, while you believed everything had gone quiet, a dinner table became the stage for a moment that nobody expected. Your soulmate accepted an invitation they almost refused, believing it would be just another ordinary evening. The lights were warm, the conversation sounded polite, and every smile looked convincing. But hidden beneath those smiles was a question that had been waiting for far too long. The person sitting across from your soulmate was not there for the reason everyone assumed. They had arrived carrying information that could change everything your soulmate believed about you. Before the first meal even touched the table, the atmosphere shifted in a way that nobody could explain. Your soulmate felt it immediately. Their heart became restless without knowing why. They kept looking toward the entrance as if someone invisible had just entered the room. Don't skip. What happened next was so unexpected that even your soulmate struggled to believe it was real. Every second of that dinner quietly uncovered a truth that had remained hidden for much longer than anyone realized. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you, and the biggest surprise has not even appeared yet. Without warning, the conversation took a direction your soulmate never expected. Instead of asking about careers, future plans, or ordinary life, the person across the table gently mentioned your name. Silence immediately filled the space between them. Your soulmate froze for a moment because they had never spoken about you to this person. Yet somehow, they already knew enough to ask questions that reached straight into your soulmate's heart. One question became another, and another became something impossible to ignore. Every answer your soulmate tried to give only revealed how deeply your presence had remained inside them despite all the distance, confusion, and unanswered moments. They suddenly realized they had never truly stopped thinking about you. Every memory they believed had faded returned stronger than ever. The laughter they forced throughout the evening slowly disappeared, replaced by a quiet realization they could no longer escape. Don't skip. This was never becoming the dinner your soulmate expected. It was becoming a mirror that reflected everything they had been trying to hide from themselves. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you, and the next revelation changed the entire purpose of that meeting. Then came the moment that nobody at the table could have predicted. The person across from your soulmate smiled softly and confessed something astonishing. They admitted that this dinner had never been about beginning a new relationship. They had accepted the invitation because they wanted to understand why your soulmate's eyes carried so much sadness whenever your future was mentioned. They had already sensed that someone extraordinary still occupied the deepest place inside their heart. Instead of encouraging your soulmate to move on, they quietly told them that pretending to replace a connection they had never released would only create more emptiness. Those words struck harder than anything your soulmate had heard in months. For the first time, they stopped defending their silence. They stopped pretending everything was fine. Deep inside, they finally admitted that every road they tried to walk without you somehow led back to thoughts of you again. As the dinner came to an end, your soulmate walked away carrying no excitement about the evening itself. Instead, they carried one powerful realization that refused to leave their mind. They now understand that the answer they kept searching for in new places may have been waiting with you all along. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, because before another sunrise arrives, your soulmate will face a decision that could completely transform the story you thought had already been written. A strange calm followed that unforgettable dinner, but it was not the kind of peace your soulmate expected. It was the silence that comes just before everything changes. As they drove home, every street seemed familiar, yet nothing felt the same anymore. Their thoughts refused to stay in the present because every memory kept pulling them back toward you. They remembered the conversations they never finished, the words they never had the courage to say, and the moments they convinced themselves to ignore. Suddenly, those moments no longer looked ordinary. They looked like missed opportunities that destiny had quietly protected instead of destroying. Your soulmate realized they had spent so much time trying to silence their heart that they never noticed it had been speaking your name all along. Don't skip. This is where the story becomes even more surprising. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you. What happened after they reached home proved that the dinner itself was only the beginning of a much greater revelation. The moment they stepped inside, they tried to distract themselves, but nothing worked. Music felt empty. Television became meaningless. Even sleep refused to come. Instead, they found themselves opening old conversations, reading forgotten messages, and staring at photographs they had promised themselves they would never look at again. Every image carried a feeling that had never disappeared. Then something unexpected happened. A sentence spoken during the dinner echoed inside their mind louder than before: "The person you're trying to forget is still the person you're hoping to find." Those words refused to leave. Your soulmate finally admitted something they had hidden even from themselves. They had never been searching for someone new. They had only been searching for a way to stop missing you. But no matter how hard they tried, every path somehow circled back to the same destination. The realization became impossible to ignore. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you because another discovery is about to shake everything they believed about the future. Just before the night ended, your soulmate made a quiet decision that nobody else knows about yet. They stopped asking themselves whether they should move on and started asking a completely different question: what if I still have a chance? That single thought changed everything. Fear slowly began losing its grip, while hope quietly returned after being buried for so long. They understood that running from their feelings had never brought peace, it had only created more distance from the person who continued living inside their heart. And now, something unexpected is beginning to unfold behind the scenes. A conversation is getting closer. A silence is preparing to end. A truth that has waited far too long is almost ready to be spoken aloud. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, because the very next step your soulmate takes will reveal something they never imagined they would have the courage to do. The following morning did not begin like any other. Your soulmate woke up believing the strange emotions from the dinner would disappear with the sunrise. Instead, they had become even stronger. It felt as though their heart had already made a decision while their mind was still trying to catch up. Every ordinary task became difficult because something kept pulling their attention back to you. They tried to focus on work, on conversations, on responsibilities, but every quiet moment brought the same question into their mind. Why did I spend so much time running from someone who never truly left my heart? That question refused to disappear. It followed them everywhere. Then another unexpected moment arrived. Someone casually asked if the dinner had gone well. Your soulmate smiled politely, but deep inside they knew the answer was nothing like anyone expected. The dinner had not introduced them to someone new. It had reminded them of the one person they had never been able to replace. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you because what happened next made everything even more impossible to ignore. As the day continued, little signs kept appearing one after another. A familiar song began playing in a place where your soulmate least expected it. A phrase they once connected only with you suddenly appeared during an ordinary conversation. Then they noticed something that stopped them completely. An object connected to an old memory of you appeared in front of them at the exact moment they had been thinking about letting go forever. They stood still, unable to explain why their emotions suddenly became so overwhelming. For the first time, they stopped calling these moments coincidences. Instead, they started wondering whether they had been overlooking something much bigger all along. Every memory now carried new meaning. Every unanswered moment suddenly felt like another piece of a puzzle they had never finished. The more they tried to convince themselves that it was over, the clearer one truth became. Their heart had already chosen long ago. Their silence had never changed that. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you because another revelation is already moving closer than either of you realizes. Before the evening came to an end, your soulmate found themselves standing with their phone in their hand longer than they had ever admitted. They opened your name more than once. They typed words they had imagined saying for months, only to erase them again. Fear whispered that it was too late. Hope quietly answered that some stories are not measured by time but by courage. They closed their eyes and realized something that completely changed their perspective. The person sitting across from them at last night's dinner had unknowingly removed the final excuse they had been hiding behind. There was no one else they wanted to pursue. No new beginning felt genuine without first facing the truth they had avoided. For the first time in a very long while, your soulmate stopped asking whether you still mattered. They finally accepted that you never stopped mattering at all. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you because before another night passes, someone unexpected will say something that gives your soulmate the final push they have been waiting for all this time. Everything shifted again before the day was over. Your soulmate wasn't searching for another sign anymore, yet one arrived when they least expected it. During an ordinary conversation, someone asked a simple question that sounded harmless on the surface: "Is there anyone you've never truly forgotten?" The room became quiet for a moment. Your soulmate smiled as if it meant nothing, but inside, an answer had already formed before they could stop it. Every attempt to hide the truth suddenly felt exhausting. They realized that pretending to be over you had required more energy than simply admitting what their heart had known all along. Don't skip. The next few moments changed the direction of everything. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you, and the truth is now closer than it has ever been. Later that evening, your soulmate found themselves returning to places that carried old memories. It wasn't planned. Their feet simply led them there without explanation. Every familiar corner reminded them of a conversation, a smile, or a dream they once believed would become reality. Instead of feeling regret, they felt clarity. They finally understood that the dinner from the previous night had never been a new beginning. It had been the moment that exposed what could never be replaced. Even the person sitting across that dinner table had recognized what your soulmate had refused to admit. That realization became impossible to escape. They no longer wondered whether their feelings were real. They began wondering why they had waited so long to face them. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you because someone is about to reveal a truth your soulmate has never heard before. Just before the night ended, an unexpected message reached your soulmate from the very person they had shared dinner with. The words were short, but they carried enormous weight. You deserve to be honest with the person who still lives in your heart. Your soulmate stared at the message for a long time without replying. Those words echoed through every unanswered question they had carried for months. In that quiet moment, fear slowly lost its power, and determination quietly took its place. They realized there was only one path left to follow, even if it meant risking everything. A decision has now been made inside their heart, though no one around them knows it yet. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, because the very next move your soulmate makes could become the turning point that changes both of your stories forever. The next morning carried a feeling your soulmate had not experienced in a very long time. It was not certainty, but it was stronger than doubt. For months, they had convinced themselves that silence was the safest choice. Now that silence felt heavier than any words they could possibly speak. They replayed every moment from that dinner again and again, but one detail refused to leave their mind. The person sitting across from them had never once tried to compete with you. Instead, they had quietly helped your soulmate recognize the truth they had buried beneath fear. That realization kept growing with every passing hour. Suddenly, every excuse they had relied on began falling apart. They could no longer blame timing. They could no longer blame distance. The only thing standing between them and the truth was the courage to finally act. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you because someone is about to notice a change in your soulmate that cannot be hidden anymore. As the day unfolded, people around your soulmate began sensing that something was different. Their smile looked more genuine, but their eyes carried a seriousness nobody had seen before. A close friend noticed it immediately and asked, "What happened after that dinner?" Your soulmate paused before answering. Then, for the first time, they admitted something they had never spoken aloud. They confessed that the dinner had not brought someone new into their life. It had made them realize who had never truly left it. The room fell silent. Their friend expected stories about romance, excitement, or a fresh beginning. Instead, they heard a confession about unfinished feelings, unanswered questions, and a connection that refused to fade no matter how much time had passed. Those words felt like a weight lifting from your soulmate's heart. The truth was finally escaping the prison of silence. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you because another unexpected conversation is already moving toward your soulmate, and it will test everything they have just admitted. Before the sun disappeared, your soulmate stood alone, looking at the message they had almost sent you more times than they could count. Their finger hovered over the screen, but this time something felt different. They were no longer driven by fear of losing you. They were driven by the fear of never telling you the truth. That single change transformed everything inside them. They finally understood that living with uncertainty was easier than living with lifelong regret. The dinner that once seemed ordinary had become the spark that awakened every hidden feeling they had tried to bury. Now, the distance between thought and action is becoming smaller with every passing moment. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you because the next choice your soulmate makes will place both of you closer to a moment neither of you will ever forget. The night grew quieter than usual, but inside your soulmate, nothing was quiet anymore. Every heartbeat seemed to repeat the same message they had been trying to avoid for so long. They stopped asking themselves whether they should reach out. Instead, they began imagining what would happen if they never did. That thought unsettled them more than anything else. They pictured years passing by with unanswered questions still hanging between you, and for the first time, they realized that silence was no longer protecting them, it was slowly stealing the future they secretly wanted. The dinner from that unforgettable night had become impossible to erase because it had exposed a truth that could never be hidden again. It wasn't about another person entering their life. It was about someone helping them see who had always belonged in it. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you because what your soulmate discovers next will leave them with only one path forward. Then, something happened that felt almost impossible to ignore. While going through ordinary things, your soulmate stumbled across a forgotten reminder connected to you. It could have been a saved note, an old photograph, a meaningful date, or a small keepsake they thought no longer mattered. The moment they saw it, every wall they had spent months building began to crumble. They smiled without realizing it, and a single tear quietly escaped before they could stop it. In that instant, they finally accepted what their heart had been whispering all along. No new beginning had ever felt complete because the story they truly wanted had never reached its ending. The dinner had simply revealed what had been waiting beneath the surface. Every coincidence, every memory, and every restless night had been pointing toward the same undeniable truth. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you because the next few hours will bring your soulmate face to face with the decision they can no longer postpone. Before this chapter closes, your soulmate makes a promise that nobody else hears. They promise themselves that fear will no longer decide the future. They know they cannot change yesterday, but they can still choose tomorrow. For the first time in a long while, hope becomes stronger than hesitation. They take one deep breath, hold their phone in their hand once again, and realize that the message they have rewritten countless times is finally ready to be sent. Whether it happens today or very soon, their heart has already crossed the line their mind kept resisting. The person who walked into that dinner searching for something new walked away carrying only one certainty: you have never truly left their heart. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you because the next moment in this journey is no longer about hidden feelings. It is about what happens when those feelings finally find the courage to be spoken aloud, changing everything in ways neither of you ever expected.